Yeah, I mean, just first of all, just really appreciate the crowd that we had today. With the striping out, the red and black all across the whole stadium, and it was loud. Great environment for college football. Hosting a ranked team like this, we had phenomenal recruits in the house today. Our best lineup of recruits, and they got to see what we're all about. I think in full form when you think about the whole atmosphere. Playing big time college football and then going out and playing well and getting a win. So really proud of that. Obviously proud of our guys. I thought, man, they had a great focus throughout the week. The mentality was right where it needed to be. Coming off a huge win on the road in the Big 12 at Kansas, and then to be able to put that one to bed and really focus everything on Iowa State. They did an absolutely great job with that, and I think that showed in the first half. We came out on fire offensively. I thought started with their offensive line, the way they were blocking, coming off the ball, huge runs. Our best running back game we've had this year with Tyree and Evan, just breaking tackles and some huge runs. And then, Sorsby with some timely throws, I thought, throughout the day, and none bigger than the one layer late in the game to Goody. To push it to two-score game, obviously was huge for us on third down. Special teams played really well again today, knocking down field goals. Had two big kickoff returns, and then Max pinning that ball on the 1 inch line or whatever it was phenomenal for our special teams effort today. And now shoot, you 2-0, and the next one makes it even bigger. Next week's what I told them in the locker room. So we'll celebrate this win and then move on to next week.
The last 2 weeks, your team has battled a lot of, we'll call it, adversity.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say about your guys that they're not getting frustrated or hanging their head, and they're continuing to battle, and they're 2-0?
Yeah, I'm getting frustrated though. They can,
adversity.
Yeah, they can be calm and play, and which is great to see. Hey, put the ball down, next play, whatever happens. Then there was there's a lot of that today, a lot of adversity today with that. But I think we did a great job of overcoming and continue to play the next play. And really, truly, it was really on both sides of the ball. I mean, it was all three phases, quite honestly. But I think for us, it's just doing control the things we can control, and that's going out and playing hard. And we'll let the chips fall where they may. And at some point, maybe they'll go our way.
Is this what the Big 12 is? Big points last week. Both teams in the 30s this week again. You've got a lead. They come back. You figured they'd come back, but high-scoring, dramatic games that you have to stay in your seat for.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think each game in its own is different. I think as you look across the landscape of Big 12 football, there's some games where I feel like there's not as much scoring, and then all of a sudden there is a lot of scoring in other games. So I mean, I think it goes back and forth. A lot of it has to do with the matchups that these teams present. But I will say this: the teams that have the veteran quarterbacks, they're going to score points. I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to stop these teams. The way college football is, the way the rules are set up, and if you've got a trigger man, you're going to have an opportunity to score points. And there is some teams in this league that play outstanding defense, great defense, and maybe some of those games may be low scoring, but I do think it's hard to contain all the offenses in this league of how good the offenses are.
Keegan, then Neal, then Marshall.
You knew you might be able to hurt them through the air with their depleted defensive backfield, but did you expect to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage offensively like you did in the first half?
I don't know really what I expected coming into the game, other than we want to try to move the ball. I thought our offense did excellent in the first half, and we didn't punt. We scored, I think, maybe every time we had it. It's hard to get any better than that in the first half. And then the second half, it was, I thought it was a little bit of sail taken out of the offense because, right before half they go down and score and they get it back. And we got the ball back at 7 minutes to go in the third, or 8 minutes. And, so it felt like, man, it was over an hour since we had the ball, like time-wise. And so it took us a little while in the second half to get back into some rhythm. To their credit, I thought they did a good job of, holding the ball. They went, I don't know how many times they go for it on fourth down. I mean, I felt like 7. That's what I said on the field. That's crazy. Yeah, 7 times. So they just tried to keep the ball, keep getting first downs, and it seemed like, we held them 3 times there on fourth down. That's awesome, So it was just one of those back and forth battles there at the end, and, we hung on to get the victory.